Changing how we move is one way to reduce greenhouse gas emissions as we head toward a zero-emissions future. Walking, cycling, public transit, and electric vehicles are all part of the solution. And Howaida Hassan has done it all.
Changing for climate.
So I use the LRT to get to work in the winter most months, and then in the summer a couple of years ago, just before COVID, I bought a new bike and started biking. It's about 10 kilometers. And I take my time, I'll say. So it takes me about, 40 minutes or so to get to the office downtown. But you feel so refreshed afterwards. A good way to get in some exercise. And you just see the city differently when you bike.
1/3 of Edmonton's greenhouse gas emissions come from transportation. Howaida would know as she helped develop Edmonton's EV strategy. Our everyday transportation choices make a difference in reducing the effects of climate change and improving air quality.
Honestly, I feel like what we need to do is just think about the trips we make on a day-to-day basis and think, which one of those trips can I make not by car? Say, on average, each of us makes about 4 trips a day, a couple for work maybe, a couple for shopping, picking up kids, that kind of thing. If you can think about, of those 4 trips, are there a couple of those that I can make not with a car? Can I take the bus? Can I walk? Can I bike for that trip? And really that's how we're going to tackle it. It's just thinking about our own individual trips and what we can be doing on a day-to-day basis to reduce our footprint from transportation.
Before Howaida and her husband Tim made the switch to electric vehicles, they owned a small minivan and a fuel-efficient smart car. This worked for a while, but squeezing kids and their hockey equipment into the tiny smart car was challenging.
It was starting to show its age as well. It was used. And so, like I say, we started thinking about, do we really want to buy a gas vehicle? Is that the way we want to go? Well, let's just take a look at some electric vehicles. Is there any even available? We really wanted to buy used. We thought that would be a smarter way to go cost-wise. And happened just come across a BMW i3, test drove it. It was January, it was -20, it was cold. Drove it home to show the kids. They instantly fell in love and said, of course, this is the way to go. And we kind of made the decision almost on the spot to pick that up.
They loved their first EV, but it had a shorter range. So, when the time came to replace their minivan, they had to decide whether they were ready to go all electric.
And so now it was time to get rid of the van, it was like, are we doing this? Are we going to go fully electric? Should we go hybrid? And we kind of decided no, out of the gate. We didn't want to go hybrid. Why would we want to still have the maintenance costs associated with a gasoline engine and whatnot? And so then it was like, we could never afford a Tesla. That's not going to happen. And so we thought, let's just keep checking. You never know. Something might come up in the used columns. And again, there was actually quite a few. Calgary, there was a couple in Edmonton. We test drove a few and landed on one in Calgary. Took a bus down the Red Arrow and picked it up and drove it back.
The final and biggest hurdle in going all electric was range anxiety. But they decided access to level 3 superchargers was enough to take the plunge.
And so, that really kind of put us over that next hurdle of the range isn't a worry at that point. We're either we're going to use the supercharge network or we're going to rent when we need to. And it was okay, no brainer. Let's just do this then.
Most of their charging is actually done at home. So Howaida and her husband installed a level 2 charger in their garage to make sure they can come and go fully charged. So, what about the cost of owning an EV?
So because we bought used, that certainly saves on the upfront cost. But then just on the day-to-day, when you think about the gas being a big part of how much it costs to maintain your vehicle, it's about 1/5 to fuel up your vehicle, mostly at home.
In addition to cost savings, Howaida's EV gives her peace of mind to tackle winter driving.
So it's been a week of warmer weather after having been -20, -30, verging on -40. And we drove this car all the time during that weather. No cold start issues. So what's nice about electric cars is that they heat up really fast. So the heat just kind of comes bursting through, and it becomes pretty nice and toasty within, I don't know, a couple minutes at most.
So, how is her EV on winter roads?
The Tesla? Oh my gosh, it's solid. Yeah, I never worry about it at all. And I'm a squeamish, careful driver. So, yeah.
Howaida says there are many reasons an electric vehicle makes sense for them. But she says the EV also aligns with their values.
You know, we know we're going to have to use the car, and so at least we know that when we use it, we're having less of an impact on the environment, and that's important to me. It's important to our family.
Changing for climate.